Unlock the power of AI in marketing with our new series, AI Agent. Dive into the world of SaaS tools, discover how marketing pros deploy bots, and explore the best use cases for AI in your marketing strategy. Only on Marketing in the Age of AI podcast with Emanuel Rose.
Welcome to this episode of Marketing in the Age of AI. I'm Emanuel Rose, and today we have Erika Stanley back. She's a true innovator at the intersection of branding and AI, and as the founder of Mile End Digital and AI Queen Society, Erika has spent nearly 2 decades helping businesses from solopreneurs to large organizations scale smarter by integrating AI with clear, consistent brand strategies. She's here to share how custom GPTs and AI-driven systems can keep messaging authentic while making branding scalable and seamless. And Erika, thank you for taking time to have a conversation with me again.
Hi, Emanuel. It's good to be back. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you bet. Well, I think it's been a few months since we talked, and there has been so much that's changed just since yesterday. I can't imagine
Oh,
what
yeah.
has changed since we last talked for you.
Oh, yeah. It's hard to keep up sometimes. All of the different platforms, they're releasing new models all the time and trying to improve and iterate on what they've already got out there. It's really cool.
Yeah, and what has just happened is that Google has just released a whole giant suite of new tools and classes and webinars and ways to build websites, and it's just it's amazing to watch how quickly the competition is how they're jockeying. So
Yeah.
for those of us on the bleeding edge, it can be definitely dizzying, but we want to try to take these things down in actionable bites for our clients or for the people who are listening. And so the whole concept of custom GPTs we just barely touched on last time, and I want to just hear from you how you talk about it with your clients as you're just looking at getting a project like this implemented. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I have a branding and website and AI implementation agency, Mylan Digital, and I work with my clients to create a brand. Part of that is their visual identity, and a big part of that is messaging, positioning, audience, all of those things that go into a brand that have nothing to do with how it looks, right? And so a lot of the business owners that I work with, they know that they need to be on social media. They know that they need to be producing blogs and putting their thought leadership out into the world. And we get done with their project, and they needed a way to carry on the work that I did for them and to
Sure.
continue that after our project is done. And in the past, that usually meant either coming back and hiring me again, or working with a freelancer, or hiring an intern or somebody else that could do this work for them. And now we have AI. And the coolest way that I have found to work with my clients on that type of work is with custom GPTs. Um, Claude also has their own. We've got Claude projects. We've also got gems in Google Gemini. But the one that I have found that works better than most is custom GPTs. And the number one reason I have found is because you can create one and then share it with multiple people. Whereas, Claude projects, you create it and it's just yours. Adobe, it lives in a little space. But man, those custom GPTs, you can create them and share them with an entire team. And it's been really cool being able to set those up for my clients, hand them over, and then watch them run with it, watch them create email sequences, workbooks for their clients, lead magnets, all those types of things that we know we need to be doing as business owners, but that they were either having to outsource or were getting frustrated trying to create themselves.
And so, are you just going to customgpt.ai, or are you inside ChatGPT creating workspaces, or what's the process?
That is such a great question. So when you're in ChatGPT, over on the left-hand sidebar, you've actually got a little, there's a little icon that says Explore GPTs, and this only works for the paid version. I
Yeah.
tell you what, though, if you're not on the paid version, it is the best $20 a month you can spend on your business. Um,
Yeah, and just so we talk about that a little bit, if you have at least the hope of keeping your content secure and not training.
Yes, absolutely. So, one of the things I always do, and I have this with mine, and I always try and do it with my clients, is within the settings within ChatGPT, within the privacy and security settings, there's a little toggle that you can switch so that you are not using the data that you upload within your GPT to train the model. So that
Yes,
way it stays just confined within how you're using it.
and what, at least inside a certain part of the community, we all say that's what they tell us. Nobody really trusts that 100%, but at least it's as secure as you can hope for it to be.
They say that it is secure, and we have to trust it. We either have to trust them or not use it at all. So
Right. Yeah. But so anyway, that's the little caveat.
yeah.
Don't put anything in that is not already released to the public, and that is no account numbers or non-compliant HIPAA information.
Just make sure you're sharing your social security number, your mother's maiden name, all that good stuff. Yeah, just
Yeah.
put all that in there. It's fine.
Send
No,
it to
I'm
me
I'm
first.
kidding. Please do not put that into ChatGPT.
Yeah.
But what you're going to do is you will go over into that left-hand sidebar and where it says Explore GPTs, you
Yeah.
click on that, and it will open up the custom GPT marketplace, which is where people are able to put custom GPTs that they have created, and you can use those. But we're going to skip that part. And in the upper right-hand corner is a little button that says Create.
Right.
And that is where you will go to create your custom GPT. And once you have that screen open, there's two different options. You can either chat with it, or you can configure. And what I have found to be the best way to create these custom GPTs for my clients, and I have to say that this works great for small business owners who are doing this themselves or working with a small team. This would also work really well within large organizations.
Sure.
So if you are part of a large organization and you've got a communications team, you've got a marketing team, you've got some PR people, you've got like all your different departments, all your different teams, they're using AI. Whether they're telling you or not, it's like
Absolutely.
teachers and students. Teachers know their students are using AI. So your teams are using AI. The best way to maintain consistency is to create a custom GPT and to distribute that to the teams. And that way, everybody is working off of the same set of information, the same foundational level information.
Yep.
Now, once you get in there, there's a couple different places where you can upload information. And I want to go through just the very bare bones information that you need to put as a leader within your organization who is kind of the steward or the herald of AI, and
Yeah.
making sure that these types of things are consistent, because we have all encountered brands who we love their product, but their brand consistency is not great. You're like, are they professional? Are they fun? Are they a little buttoned up? And maybe they've hired somebody's kid to do their social media because we don't really know what they're doing. And if you're a small business, if you're just starting out, maybe that doesn't seem important to you. But when we think about a brand like, for example, Nike, we all know what a Nike ad looks like, feels like, what it evokes in us, that emotion. We know the Nike swoosh without even looking at it. Right? Like you see it in the periphery and you know what it is. They have incredible brand consistency. Their fonts, their colors, all of those things. Um, we know their brand. And not that your brand has to be that recognizable. We're not all going to be Apple. We're not all going to be Coca-Cola. But you do want to make sure that the people in your team, your communications department, your marketing department, your social media people, like that, all of those people know these basic things. And these are all things that you can put into this custom GPT before sending it out to your team. Okay. So the first thing you're going to start off with is your basic company information, right? So, like, who are we? What do we do? What are our products and services? What problems do we solve for our people? All of those things that make your company you, your main differentiators, your key selling points. So, you can upload that information into the custom GPT. If you've got a handbook, you can upload that handbook. So you can either upload this information or you can type it directly into the GPT and hit enter, and it will update that information, upload that information for you. The cool thing about this is, so let's say you as an organization, if you're a product-based business and you've got some type of new product that you're just now getting ready to launch, if you've got this custom GPT that your entire team is using, you as the steward of this technology, you can put the information in about that new product, and now everyone that is using that GPT, their GPT has been updated to include the information about that product. So now your marketing team has all of the nitty-gritty details and all of the information about that new product that you guys are you're trying to sell and you're trying to promote, right? So all about your business, all about your company, all about your products and services, right? So that is the main number one thing that you are going to put into this custom GPT.
So I can also picture that you probably have like an ICP document, your ideal client profile document, maybe your competitive research document, maybe your thought leaders, Gary Vaynerchuk or Seth Godin, some of their posts in there as well that emulate potentially.
Yeah. So next up is your target audience, right? Okay. So if you've got that ICP, if you've got that ideal client profile or that avatar, if you have an actual avatar, like a document, you have hired a branding agency to come in and outline that ideal customer for you, you would just upload that straight to the custom GPT and say,
yeah,
here is my ideal client. It's going to include their psychographics, their demographics, and a whole bunch of other information about them that comes, depending on what branding agency you're working with and the information that they give you. What are their main pain points? What is the emotion they're feeling when they find you as a company? All of those little nuanced things. It can be as broad, like as big and filled out as you want, or it can be something really small if you're just getting started, right? Like my ideal client, is a pet owner who owns multiple pets and they are looking for, XYZ, like whatever type of ideal audience you're looking for.
And is this part of the process that you help your clients flesh out so they have good
Sure
documents?
is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it is. So if you don't have this information, I always recommend that people work with a branding expert who can really dig in with you and figure this out for you.
It's an interesting exercise. Yeah, hire a professional. It is an interesting exercise to try to do by yourself as the business owner, and you'll be able to get, again, 60 or 70% of the way there. But to have the professional eyes review it and fill in some of the gaps is always worth the extra expense.
Yeah. The next thing you want to make sure that you include in that custom GPT is the style and brand voice. Yep. So is your company more professional? Is your company a little wacky? There are specific brand terms that you can put in there, any taglines or common phrases that you use as a brand. This is also where you can put things that you absolutely do not use. So I have a client that I was working with she's a keynote speaker. She works with a lot of women leaders, and she does not use the word empowered.
Right.
because empowered for her means that she is giving this to you. And for her, part of her lesson is that you have it in you all along. You don't need somebody to give it to you. You just need to find it. So that when we were building her custom GPT, I had to make sure and tell it that we don't use that word, and here's why.
Yeah,
Because
I
that's
love
part of
that
her differentiators.
for
So
sure. And so these exclusion lists are important, especially because the LLMs tend to do a lot of these funky words like journey. Everything's a
yep.
journey. They use strange old English words that aren't part of our vernacular. So the exclusion word list is a great job to put together.
Yep, the exclusion word list, whether or not you use emojis in your correspondence, I would say that most corporate entities are probably not, but
Right.
AI seems to really like emojis. So if you do not want those in there, you got to tell it that don't want to use emojis. This is corporate. It's professional. Just because it's corporate and professional doesn't mean it needs to be bland and buttoned up. But having those style and brand personality, brand voice profiles in there are really going to help your AI to sound more human right out of the gate, rather than you getting a response and then having to go back and forth and back and forth with it. I will say that a lot of the people that I work with, they are starting with the prompt. They are starting with their query. What do they want the AI to do? And instead, if you start with this custom GPT, if you start with, okay, here's who I am, here's my company, here's who I talk to, and here's how I talk to them,
Yeah.
then if you are able to build all of that before you even give it a prompt, you are going to get so much closer to a good response than you will if you're just starting from scratch every time.
I agree. And the one little hack that I found where when you can't, for instance, link in Google Notebook or even in chat in these custom GPTs where you can't put a link in, like I like to have my LinkedIn profile as part of the pull, right, for the LLMs. So I'll save as much as I can as a PDF and then link that file in as a PDF since it can't be live. And then at least it has a sense of what my current LinkedIn activity looks like.
Yeah. There are a few other things that you can upload into a custom GPT. If you are a larger organization, you're going to want to keep this a little broader. So you might not want to do the context and the role. But if you are at the department level, for example, creating a custom GPT that's just going to help you with social media.
Right.
So, for example, you create one that's just going to help you with LinkedIn posts.
Yep.
Then you would want to give it context, right? So context is helping to give it all of the background information that it's going to need that it's not going to get from those other documents, right? So what are some thoughts and opinions that you have that help make you a little special? Are there any special frameworks, any processes that you use that are different from everyone else? Is there a unique point of view? I like to ask my clients, like, what is the hill you would die on within
Right.
your industry, right? Like, what is the one thing that you're like, man, if
Plant the
everybody just
flag.
understood this,
Yeah.
like, yeah, so what's your hill that you want to die on? So
Love that.
you can add all of that context, and that's going to be really, really powerful as well. And you can give it a role. So this is a really great way to start off. If you just have a custom GPT that you're building for one specific task, you want to think about, if I didn't have to worry about money at all, and I could hire an expert, if I could hire a six-figure expert to come in here and do this one job, this is
Yep.
all they did, what would that person's job description be? And that's the role that you are going to give your GPT.
Love that.
You're going to tell it, you are an email marketing expert with 20 years of experience. And you just outline exactly what type of experience you want this person to have. And that's the role that the GPT will take on. So that's a huge piece that you can put in there. And that's not something that I would upload as a document. That's something that I would type directly into the configuration instructions so that
Right.
it knows, oh, when I talk back to you, this is the role I'm taking on. This is who you want me to be.
And so you're saying you want to create basically these tactical experts for each part of the marketing activity in this instance.
Yes. So there are a couple of different ways to approach custom GPTs. If you are a larger organization, you can start by creating just a regular business GPT. I call it my BISH, which is my Brand Informed Systems Hub. I really just wanted a way to say BISH, please. Um, but it really is, it is the hub of your brand. And it contains all of these elements, right? So it contains the role of your GPT, the style, the brand voice, any signature words and phrases, that overall context, right? So, like the background knowledge that the AI is going to need, any guardrails. So, for example, if you are in the medical field, if you're in the law field and you are not allowed to say certain things, you're not allowed to
Sure.
make recommendations, or you're not allowed to
Claims.
say that you're giving medical advice. Like you've got to put those guardrails into place so that the AI knows, right? And then within that knowledge base, giving it your target audience, your brand values, all about your company, your products and services, all of that fun stuff. So that is everything that's contained within this BISH system hub that I create for my clients. I actually have I have a Google Doc that I keep on my website. I can give you the link to that
Sure.
to
Yeah.
put
We'll
in the
put that in the
to
notes.
put in the notes at the end.
Sure thing.
So if anybody wants it, they can come download it. But it's a really cool framework and a way to just get started with your first custom GPT.
Love it.
That's for like a well, I mean, that could be for anybody, for a custom, like a big organization or a small organization. If you're just doing these on your own for your own business, you can create custom GPTs for anything. I mean, you can create, I have a colleague who created a CFO AI
There you go. Love it.
who knows all of her business goals for the year. And every time she like, oh, do I make this purchase? Or I like look at my income for the month, her custom CFO, custom GPT can give her insights based on those numbers, based on her goals, based on where she wants to grow to in the next 5 to 10 years. And it's
All
just
right.
that extra set of eyes, keeping an eye on things because I I'm not great with that's not why I got into business was to do my own finances.
All right. Well, now
So
that's an example of having built a tool for yourself that then actually becomes its own piece of software that you could sell to other people. So,
yeah, exactly.
yeah. About how many, kind of what's the number of custom GPTs you've seen in terms of a range for one organization?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I have about 12 that I use regularly.
Yeah.
I have a whole list. I've got so many that they've dropped off the bottom of that little sidebar, so they
Yeah.
don't all stay there. But I've got about 10 or 12 that I use pretty regularly and that I bounced back and forth between. One of the really cool things that OpenAI added with this, it's not even the latest update, it's like 2 updates ago at this point, is the ability to tag in different GPTs.
Uh-huh.
So let's say that you have an amazing article that somebody on your team has written that's going to be published in a magazine. You guys are going to turn it into a press release. You want to turn it into a bunch of LinkedIn posts and Instagram posts and all of that. But you've got custom GPTs built for those specific things. So you take this article and you just start off with GPT 4.0 or O3 or 4.1 or whatever model you're using. And you just tell it, hey, somebody wrote this awesome article about our company, and we want to turn it into a blog post that we can put on our website. And then you can tag in and you just and you say, whatever that GPT is named. So at company blog post writer.
Right.
And it's like you've invited that person into the room with you. Like, oh, hey, blog post writer, I
Yep.
want you to take this article and use everything that I've now trained you how to do, and you're going to write this blog post, and then it'll spit it out.
And so
Then
that's where we're
you
starting
can
to
send,
build. We're building a
yep,
series of agents essentially now, and
yes.
and
You send that
connecting
little
them up.
guy out of the room, And then you're like, all right, LinkedIn creator. Now you come in and you at LinkedIn creator or whatever
Right.
you've called your custom GPT, you invite that person, you invite that GPT into the room. You say, okay, I need you to turn this into two highly engageable, viral style LinkedIn posts.
Right.
And the benefit of that is that now you've invited that GPT into the room. It has the full conversation that you've already had above it as its knowledge base, in addition to all of the legacy things that you've trained it.
Beautiful.
So it makes it really, really cool. And that's one of that's one of my favorite ways to use the custom GPTs, to train them on a really specific thing really, really well. Train one GPT to do one thing really well, and then invite it into the room as part of the conversation as you're building a whole campaign.
Yeah, and then that's how you end up with this staff of agents and with the knowledge base. So
Yeah.
genius move. Well, I love this, Erica. Really good use of OpenAI's custom GPTs. Really accessible. Anybody can get in there and get a, a chat GPT account, sign up for the $25 a month version, and then start creating these custom GPTs and start training them.
I will say that if you're not into ChatGPT and you prefer Claude, or if you prefer Google Gemini, or if your entire organization is using Microsoft,
Right.
right? So you're on the pilot train. Each one of the models has their own version of this. And the good thing about the BISH system is that once you have that knowledge base built out, then you can take it anywhere and build a custom AI for your purposes, no matter what model you're using, and you're going to get similar results.
Yeah, and that's a great point. Is that we talk about it in terms of ChatGPT, but to your point exactly, the everybody, the big players all have very similar functions. They just call them a little bit different. They call them
Yep.
by different names, but it's very accessible. Um, well, that's cool, Erica. We could talk about this all afternoon, but I know you got other things to do. So, if people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, so you can go to my website. I am at erikastanley.com. That's ERIKA, erikastanley.com. I am building my AI Queens Society on Substack. So that's aiqueens.substack.com, or sorry, it's just aiqueensociety.com. And then I have it redirected. But yeah, I mean, if you, as an organization, as a business owner, if you don't have a really good idea of these things that I was talking about, it is what I do for my clients. It's one of the very first steps. And we do what's called the brand to bot blueprint, where I interview you. It's a 90-minute session. At the end of it, you have all of this ready to go. And I basically hand over a custom bot for you.
Nice.
So it's your intro to custom AIs.
All right, I love it, and we'll have the Bish link in the show
Yes.
notes, and then we'll give some more life to the Bish, please. I like that.
Thank you
Well,
so much.
Erica,
I love it.
yeah, thank you for your time and your view on the custom GPTs and how to leverage these.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm going to close this out, and I'll be right back with you.
Okay.
Well, it's a good review of the functionality of a custom GPT, and then the process of building out a kind of a staff level custom GPT series, so that you have access to these knowledge bases as a way of saving time and keeping messaging on brand and consistent. And so my hope for you is that you take some time this week to dig into custom GPTs and how they may help you with the production level that you have, and speed up some processes that you're involved in, that you share this with your group if you have one, and that you find some ways to save time and then use that time to spend with your friends, your family, and to get outside and enjoy the fresh air. It's Emanuel Rose, Marketing in the Age of AI.
Thanks for listening to Marketing in the Age of AI. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. Your copy of Authentic Marketing in the Age of AI is available at Amazon.com or EmanuelRose.com. You can also connect with Emanuel on LinkedIn. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.